coming to you every week from no place in particular. It's the best, worst thing you've never seen. This is the Forever Road Podcast featuring Bosco. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down that forever road, he's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. It's Bosco, here on the Forever Road Podcast.
Welcome to Forever Road Podcast. I know this is the last minute, but I didn't have enough time. I have a lot of stuff I want to throw out here. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do it the regular way on Instagram. So there's a lot to cover for this day in history. So I figured I'd just come on here, do this, and hopefully you guys are in the chats. But welcome to today, this day in history. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm glad. I hope y'all are having a great day. I figured I'd get on here and just, like I said, shoot a short one. Say hello. I hope everybody's doing great. This day in history. Where was I going to start at? There we go. I don't know. I like the White Stripes. White Stripes performed on TV for the first time, playing Apple Blossom and You're Pretty Good Looking. Pretty good looking. On Detroit Public Television. Their series Backstage Pass. The broadcast became a little less than a month ahead of their release, their first album. The second full-length album. I read that wrong. From the White Stripes. You know the weird part about that is they were marketed as brother and sister when they were really husband and wife. Percy Sledge, there we go. Percy Sledge started a 2-week run at number one with his on the singles charts with his When a Man Loves a Woman. Now, before recording, he had all the music laid out and everything like that. And he didn't have any words. Everybody figured he would, come back, and he had no title, no lyrics. So went back into the studio, sat there, and when it came time to record the vocals, he improvised. He improvised the entire thing. Minimal pre-planning, using only the melody as a guide for rhythm and phrasing. One of the greatest love songs there is. One of the greatest. Let's see. I said that earlier. The Allman Brothers Band temporarily disbanded after Greg Allman testified against his personal road manager, Scooter Herring, after some drug possession charges. He was charged. He testified against Scooter Herring in the court over some trafficking drugs. Subsequently, Scooter would get sentenced to 75 years in Georgia. Let me get back to that. Yeah, there it is. Hey, American guitarist. In 2008, American guitarist Jerry Cole died at the age of 68. He first entered the pop music scene with Glenn as one of the champs, along with Glenn Campbell. Cole and Glenn later formed the GCs, and released one single called Buzzsaw Twist. He would back up. Y'all ready for this? Elvis Presley in 1974. He also worked with Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, Aretha Franklin, the Righteous Brothers, Little Richard, Ray Charles, Tony Orlando, and Dawn. Never heard of him. Lou Rawls, Greg Allman, Lee Hazelwood, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Kenny Rogers, Neil Diamond, Steely Dan, the Beach Boys, and Isaac Hayes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. You want to talk about some talent. Percy Sledge in one take. No lyrics written down, and he just listened to the word, listened to the man. That's talent. That man had some talent. So, Let's see, where was I at? There was another fact because I kind of pre-read this and then I went back up. Why is that on here twice? That was 2008. Blues, yeah, there it is. Blues guitarist T-Bone Walker was born this day in 1910. John Fogerty from CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival for the youngins. If you're younger than Gen X and you don't know who CCR is, I had to spell it out for you. John Fogerty is 80. Gladys Knight from Gladys Knight and the Pips. Gladys Knight is 80 as well. Nicknamed the Empress of Soul, she won 7 Grammys, 2 #1 Billboard Hot 100 singles, Midnight Train to Georgia, That's What Friends Are For, and enjoyed many decades of success with her group Gladys Knight and the Pips. They made a reference to the Pips in that movie The Equalizer with Denzel. Her brother Merald, M-E-R-A-L-D, Merald. Anyway, Bubba Knight is also a Pip, and one of her cousins, Edward Patton and William Guest. Yes, Jerry Douglas was born this day. He is 69. I'll get to that in a second. Yep, moving on. This day in music. All right. I had something here that was really, really special. I just got to find out where that article is. Yeah, T-Bone Walker, American blues guitarist, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist. T-Bone Walker, who was a pioneer and innovator of the jump blues and electric blues sound. His most famous song, Call It Stormy Monday, but Tuesday is just as bad. The Allman Brothers Band would later recover it in their Live at Fillmore East album. That song was released in 1947. He died of bronchial pneumonia March 16th, 1975 at age 64. Yep, John Fogerty, American singer, musician, singer, songwriter from Creedence Clearwater Revival, had 69 U.S. #2 single Bad Moon Rising, plus 10 other U.S. top 30 hits. 1970 U.S. #1 album Cosmo's Factory. After CCR parted ways in 72, Fogerty had a successful solo career. So pretty much, even there's another song, Born on the Bayou. You watch any movie about Vietnam, his music's in there, let's see. There's another one I had it earlier. So happy birthday to those guys. This day in 2008, Jerry Cole, American guitarist. Yeah, I already said that. That wasn't the article. Mitch Mitchell. Where is that one? Let me look. I gotta go back and look now. Now I feel dumb. It's okay. I had it, and now I lost it. There's a big article I was really wanting to cover. Was it on Instagram? There was something that I saw earlier, and I wanted to messages. I think I sent it to somebody. Earlier. Also, I want to while I'm looking for this, I want to give a big shout out to a huge shout out to Bad Dog, brother Derek over there with Bad Dog Health and Fitness. I worked today, went to work, went to the gym, left there, went to the gym, and he smoked me. I can't stand this. Is no lie. I'm not even going to front or anything like that. I'm not trying to sound like a crybaby, but I can't stand stairs. But he smoked me on the stairs. I did my stairs, and then we did some lat workout, and then I did some more cardio after that, and then came home and ate brown rice and quinoa and tuna. So that was my dinner, and I'm happy. I'm sore. I'm getting back into that. I'll do that again. Anyway, but I'm very glad. This is a big shout out. Thank you, brother Derek. Thank you for pushing me. And this is day one of the transformation. So I look forward to much more. Let me see if I can find that message. I don't know if it was in here or where I sent it. Maybe it was in my feed. Let me look. Nope. I gotta find that. It was in somebody else's article, but it was a good read, man. And whoever it is, I'll give them a good shout out for it too. Let's see. Anybody in the chats? Nope. I don't know. Oh well. Let's see. Nope. Nobody in the chats. I'll tell you what. JoJo Billingsley was born this day in 1952. JoJo Billingsley was one of the Honkettes, the original lineup of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Born this day in 1952, American singer-songwriter and recording artist. She's best known for her work with Honkettes, backing vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd. She was born in Memphis, Tennessee, to Doc and Hazel Billingsley. They moved to Senatoba, Mississippi from Harmontown, Mississippi, where she was raised. December 75, she was hired along with Cassie Gaines, Steve Gaines' sister, which later Cassie would bring her brother Steve on for like the last. If you look at early Lynyrd Skynyrd, there's a different lineup, personnel change. And I know that we talked about Lynyrd Skynyrd early on in the Forever Road podcast. I like to kind of revisit that, but it was JoJo, Cassie Gaines, and Leslie Hawkins as backing singers for Lynyrd Skynyrd. Ronnie Van Zant, the lead singer, dubbed them the Honkettes. October 20th, 1977, the plane crash, if you know your Skynyrd history, the plane crash killed several members of the band. She was not on the plane. She's the only band member not on that flight. At that time, she was under doctor's care at home, dealing with some health problems brought on by substance abuse and alcohol. She actually said this in her own interview, I think in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. When she did not perform with the reformed Skynyrd after the 77 plane crash at the 79 volunteer jams with Charlie Daniels because she was not invited. She's at the opening of the Freebird, the movie, at Atlanta Fox Theater in 1995, which I actually had a copy of that movie. If you can find one, it's amazing. She sang Sweet Home Alabama at Lynyrd Skynyrd's induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006. She also performed with members of the group occasionally throughout over the years through charity and memorial events. She was called by her friend and former bandmate Mark Basil, guitarist from New York, who invited her to perform with Leslie Hawkins several times as a Honkette, in an alternative version of Leonard Skinner called the Saturday Night Special Band that included former Skinner band members Ed King, Artemis Pyle, and Leslie Hawkins. They helped raise money for the UNOS and Hurricane Katrina victims. Billingsley Hawkins, newcomer Donna Basil, I'm not sure, rounded out the Honkettes. 2007, she appeared at Jamaicue, Southern Rock Get Together held on by Bruce Wall with members of Southern Boys Band. Her friend Jane Van Zandt was also there. She made many television and radio appearances, appeared in several movies and DVDs, and traveled extensively. Her final CD was titled I Will Obey. She actually went on to become a Christian. It doesn't say in this article here, but she went on to sing Christian and gospel music. Let's see. Yep. She survived the plane crash, which she wasn't on, but I don't know why it says that in that article. That's just. She survived the plane crash. Here's that article. That's where it is. Memphis, Tennessee, raised in the Tennessee country communities. She started singing at age 3, took dance lessons, tap, and jazz from time to time till the age about 14. She was also church soloist by the time I was 10 or 12 and deeply involved in music program at school. Choral group, girls' voice ensemble. Wow. Coloratura soprano. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. The girls' vocal ensemble as a soloist, coloratura soprano. She received a scholarship to attend the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, but had a difficult time because she never had music theory. But when she was 16, she was invited to attend Juilliard School, but her dad would not let her because it was in New York City. Her dad passed away in 1971. She took up singing as a profession and joined Oil Can Harry. Yep. With whom she toured the U.S. and Europe 73 to 74. And then she joined Leonard Skinner's Honkettes. A friend of mine named Bob O'Neill, and this is her, a friend of mine named Bob O'Neill was doing the lights for Leonard Skinner and Fleetwood Mac. He turned my name into them, and the producer invited me to come to Nashville to a concert where I met Ronnie Van Zant for the first time. He hired me on the spot. I entered the room backstage, and he was sitting with his bare feet propped up on a table. He took one look at me, tipped his hat back, smiled, and said, "She'll do just fine." She'll do just fine. All right. He hired me without even hearing me sing. Good thing I knew how. The next 3 years was magic with numerous tours around the world until October 20th, 1977. But Billingsley was the only band member not on the flight. Why weren't you on the plane? In the interview in 2008, like I referred to earlier. It's a long story, but it's my side of the story. I'm glad to set the story straight. I had my problems with I had my problems, but one thing is for sure, I could sing. I could and can sing. Ronnie told me he wanted to try me to try to go back to just male members, so she left. In August of '77, the last gig I sang with them was Aladdin Theater in Vegas. I had been physically sick due to being hooked on drugs and alcohol and went home to stay at my mom's for a while to sober up, where I was on doctor's care. Back in the '70s, it was a lot different. I heard through the grapevine that Leslie was hired back, then Cassie. Honestly, I didn't care at the time because I was tired of that lifestyle. It's hard being out on rock. It's hard being a rock and roll star. They played 4 shows without me right after Street Survivors album came out, their last album with the original lineup. I don't see anybody in the chats. Ronnie called and asked me to come back. He said he needed me. That was music to my ears. He asked me to fly to meet them in Greenville, South Carolina, but she decided to drive because it was only 150 miles from her house, so she could drive there. This is where it gets weird. That night, I went to sleep after talking to Ronnie. I woke up after God giving me the most vivid dream of my life. I dreamed the plane crashed. I saw the whole thing in my dreams 2 nights before it really happened. The next day after my dream, I called and tried to warn them, please do not get back on that plane. I later learned they took a vote before they left Greenville, said that it was going to be the last time to fly on that plane. Well, now we know it was. Following the crash, she became a born-again Christian and made a living recording and touring extensively as a Christian singer, performing only a handful of times with Lynyrd Skynyrd. But in 2005, she performed several times with the Honkettes and the alternative version of Skynyrd. 2006, Hawkins and Billingsley performed with Lynyrd Skynyrd for the 3rd time since 1977 plane crash. The first was at Charlie Daniels' 79 Volunteer Jam. That film actually appears in VH1 Behind the Music profile of Lynyrd Skynyrd. The second at the opening of Freebird, the movie at the Atlanta Fox Theater in 95. At the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which Lynyrd Skynyrd was honored in 2006. She reunited with the then current members of Lynyrd Skynyrd at their induction in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Also performed with members of the group at occasional charity memorial events. So yeah, I wanted to do a deeper dive on JoJo Billingsley because she, it's her birthday, she would pass away. June 24th, 2010. So in a month, I'll probably say, hey, in memory of JoJo Billingsley. So yeah, y'all remember that. In a month, if y'all can, remember that. So anyway, like I said, a short little 30-minute clip here. I wanted to kind of get a little bit deeper dive on a few topics I found quite interesting. I wanted to share that with y'all. Like I said, our main goal here when I do those is, just to y'all take this information, things like that I share and run with it. Share it out, tell somebody, hey man, did you know that, Percy Sledge did When a Man Loves a Woman in one take without having anything written down? I mean, that's gangster. That you really, very few times in music history do things like that happen. Just right off the cuff, right off the rip, one take, lay it down, boom, bam, here we go, done. That's like the most gangster damn thing I've ever heard. So, not to borrow that from the Fat Electrician, it just came out that way. I apologize. But yeah, that's badass, dude. So anyway, in my words, that's badass. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this. Share, like, subscribe, share this video out to everybody. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, which used to be Google Play, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Live, Amazon Music, and soon to be Rumble. I hope to see y'all later on. I'll see y'all later on this week. See you tomorrow with some more music news and facts. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Praying for peace. Love y'all. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday. If somebody else you love birthday, happy birthday to them. Anyway, I'm going to go play video games. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Thanks for riding with us on the FRP, the Forever Road Podcast, with Bosco. You can find and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or drop us a line or question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time right here on the Forever Road Podcast.